Shane, wake up.
Oh, what?
It's time.
Time for what?
It's time for Geeks at the Movies!
Hola, geek fans! Welcome back. It's that time again. It's 4:30. It's Friday, and we're shooting at the luxurious Goodrich Studios International, and this is Geeks at the Movies. My name is Shane Goodrich. I'll be your host for this evening, and joining me, as always, is the illustrious lead writer of Geeks at the Movies, the Mr. Jacob Desitels.
What's going on, guys? I'm really excited to talk about all these awesome trailers. It seems like Comic-Con came earlier this year.
I love it. Let's do this. Let's start off with item one of the geek news. The first teaser trailer for Marvel's upcoming Doctor Strange has been released. Jacob, what did you think?
All right, well, I remember this. The announcement came out, this was going to come out, and I sat down and watched it when it premiered on Jimmy Kimmel, and then I thought it was a really good trailer. They had this interesting little weird thing with Benedict Cumberbatch beforehand, where he was like, "I'm a magician. I can make balloon animals. I also do kids' parties sometimes." But the actual trailer I thought was really good. Had a lot of really cool visuals, and it didn't show that much of the story or really what the character is really about. But it showed a little bit of his origin. You know, his hands get broken, then he goes to find an ancient healer in Tibet, and it showed the ancient one played by Tilda Swinton. Should be played by an Asian actor, I think, still. But who knows? Maybe they'll go into that a little bit. But what did you think?
I wasn't as thrilled by this trailer as I was hoping.
Yeah.
But I realize it's probably because this trailer is more for the hardcore fans, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Doctor Strange, so they gave that little origin, but otherwise I'm kind of like, what's happening right now? Who's that? Who's that? It's a little hard to follow. There's a lot of cool imagery in the trailer. And I know Marvel has a great track record, so I'm excited about that. I also found Tilda Swinton, I was actually excited for. I'm like, okay, I mean, the ancient one, I guess originally from the comic books is an Asian character, but it was a male Asian character.
Yeah.
So they're switching it, making her female. I expected more, not from her, but from like the makeup artist and the designers, make her a little more interesting, but who knows what she'll be doing in the movie.
Yeah, all it really shows is that she has some like scars on her head.
Yeah.
But they also got a Chiwetel Ejiofor in there as Baron Mordo, who in the comics he's more of a straightforward like villain character, but in this movie they said that it's not really gonna be like black or white from what he is.
Like ambiguous.
Yeah. So, but what seems to be the main character is Mads Mikkelsen. They haven't confirmed who his character is yet. He's probably gonna be some other student under the Ancient One that goes rogue and then forms his own weird type.
He's using magic, isn't he? In the trailer, he's doing some of this thing.
Yeah, and he has some weird makeup around his eyes, but who knows whose character is going to be? But what's probably going to happen is Mordo goes and works with him, and then becomes just a plain old villain. But hopefully, Marvel will like cut off that damn track record they have of having horrible villains, because they need to get another Loki, but also have him be like his own character at the same time. Yeah,
their movie track record is not very good. I think they've done a much better job on the smaller screen.
Yeah.
On Netflix, their track record right now is great.
Yeah,
they have great villains on the Netflix series.
Yeah, they have the Kingpin. The Punisher when he was more on the opposite side. Yeah.
And then they had Purple Man.
Yeah,
Kilgrave. Kilgrave. I mean, those are fantastic. Those are my favorite Marvel villains. Yeah. More than Loki, because Loki's a bit of a gray character sometimes. He's like good, bad, but part of the thing I like about the Marvel villains on the Kingpin is he has some nuance to him. Yeah. There's no nuance to most of the MCU villains. Yeah. They're just so mindless. Like they're from Abomination to whoever the hell it was in Thor 2. I don't even know.
The guy that was played another Doctor Who actor, but he was the Dark Elf King or whatever.
Some dude.
I don't even know his name.
Some dude.
Yeah, but and the Netflix series, they have more time to flesh out their villains.
Yes, they do.
And I think the writers they have a hard time like trying to manage when should we what character do we choose to flesh out in the films, and I think they just automatically just dismiss the villains and go straight for the heroes.
And that oftentimes for even some of the best Marvel films it actually works. I find it works. Like for Avengers, it worked. I didn't care that much. It didn't matter to me. For even Captain America Winter Soldier had some decent villains. Robert Redford as that guy that had that creepy headed shield. I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah, and even though it wasn't a straightforward villain, Bucky, he was I guess he was the main villain of that movie, but he also...
To me, Robert Redford's the main villain of the movie, and he's manipulating Bucky, who's just like a scary assassin guy.
Yeah, and we know that Bucky is, he was originally good, and he's going to come back to being good again.
Yes.
So they had a lot of attachment to him. But in this movie, maybe they'll do the same sort of thing with Baron Mordo. I don't know. It looks cool. Hopefully in the next trailer we get more of a story.
Alrighty then, let's move on to item number 2. The third trailer for Warner Brothers' Suicide Squad has been released. Cobb, tell me what you thought.
I thought this was a pretty good trailer. This was the Ballroom Blitz trailer, as they're calling it. The last one was the Bohemian Rhapsody trailer.
That was better.
Yeah, that was that was the better trailer. But I still like this. It's just really strange how they're just pumping out these trailers so fast, because I know their release schedule for their marketing got a little turned around because the first trailer got leaked from Comic-Con like 3 months before they wanted to release it.
Damn.
So it made sense because it was released like more than a year before the movie was supposed to come out. It comes out in August this year. So it's all strange that they already have 3 full trailers for this movie out now. But like this trailer, we got to see more of Batman, and you said that when the whole reshoot thing was going on, you said that they're probably going to add more Batman into it.
I'm hoping. And plus, they don't need to... They might pay Ben Affleck, a little bit to do like a scene or two, but most of the time they can just get a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be that hard to do, I think. And I guess really I'm just kind of dreaming. Yeah. I just want more Batman because he was awesome in Batman v Superman.
Yeah, he was the best part of that movie.
Oh yeah.
And, so that could be what happens in this. It might be why they're showing more of him, and we get to see a little bit more of the Joker, a little bit more from some of the other characters like El Diablo with his fire thing, and some of the other characters. Well, I didn't really like Will Smith's dialogue in this trailer. I wasn't really going along with it, but I know you've always been,
a Will Smith hater.
Yeah, so you don't like that he was casting this.
This was generic Will Smith dialogue. That's what I felt like. I'm like, hey, look, it's Will Smith playing Will Smith, doing Will Smith stuff.
Yeah, that's not that.
That's exactly what I expected, what I didn't want, and then I got it. So I didn't like the dialogue either, but I already had braced myself, so I guess it didn't bother me as much. But it was bad. It was bad, and I expected it to be bad, and I expected Will Smith's delivery to be bad because I just don't like Will Smith in general as an actor. There's some movies where he's actually bothered not to phone it in, like Ali, like when he played Muhammad Ali. There's some movies where he actually takes the role more seriously. But any of these kind of like PG-13, movies, he always kind of plays the same kind of dude, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I think they probably got him because they wanted him to play that type of character, but I want him to embody the role of Deadshot. I don't want him to be Will Smith, like you're saying. But hopefully that won't be the case. Hopefully they're just showing his funny dialogue that they're gonna put in there. But I don't really like it that much. But I do like Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I think that she's embodying the role.
Perfect. Yeah. Right from the very first trailer, I thought this is great. Works for me.
Yeah, it's Harley Quinn right there.
Yep, there she is.
And we get to see all of the squad. And I really think that Enchantress is going to be the villain of this movie, because there's that part where they show like the squad on some screen with that Amanda Waller is presenting to other people, and she's not part of that.
Wait. So let me stop you there for a second. Joker's not the main villain?
He's probably going to be he's probably not going to be the person they're going after, but he's going to be involved in some way, I think. I think that mission that they go on that we see in the trailer, and like the city is all messed up, I think that was Enchantress. Because there's a part in the subway scene where you see those weird creatures, and she has magic abilities. So
interesting. I just assumed it's going to be them going against the Joker.
Yeah, but I just think that because she's not part of the Suicide Squad.
And I also, speaking of Joker, I still don't know what to think of Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's why he's not the main villain, so maybe that's why they're not showing that much. They show quick clips of him here and there, shooting a gun. He reminds me more like the Jack Nicholson Joker. Yeah. He's a gangster. It seems like he's a gangster. Yeah. That's what he looks like to me.
I think he's going to be more of a part of flashbacks than the present storyline in this movie.
Oh, okay.
Because we know that we're gonna get to see Harley Quinn's origin, and it was caused by a Joker.
Okay.
And then I think even that scene with Batman, I think that's gonna be a flashback too. So we'll see what happens. But I'm excited for this movie, and I like this. I like all the trailers so far. But I think they're gonna have to slow down for a little bit, and then like in the middle of the summer, just go right back into it.
I'm excited about this. We'll see what happens. We'll see if the tone gets really changed or if they're kind of throwing us a curveball. Because that first trailer was the same tone of all the other DC stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of dark Nolan-esque tone. Yeah. And these last two trailers have not been.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Let's move on to item number 3. Warner Brothers has released the second trailer for the upcoming Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. Jacob, this is a Harry Potter property. It's not my thing. Why don't you take it?
Well, I've said before that Harry Potter isn't really my thing either. But
that's brutal.
I've liked all the movies, and I wanted to put this in here because I liked all the marketing that they had for this movie so far, and it definitely felt like Harry Potter. Like it had its own tone to it, but it also had this new updated Harry Potter theme music in there. I really liked hearing that. I liked seeing all the magic and everything. But what really intrigues me about this movie is that it's not going to take place in Hogwarts like all the other Harry Potter movies. This actually takes place in New York City. It is in a different continent now. It takes place in New York City. It's out in the open. There's some other weird like American Ministry of Magic thing going on. We'll see how that plays into it. But I really like Eddie Redmayne in this role so far. I like seeing Colin Firth in this trailer, or Colin Farrell actually, sorry. Like seeing all of that. But overall, what did you think of the trailer?
I am a staff man, not a wand man. Yeah. Don't like the wands. I think they're lame. They're totally lame, dude. That shit's totally lame, man. Take that out of here. I want staffs. I want Lord of the Rings. I was never interested in Harry Potter. I saw the first film, and I think I saw the second. I can't remember. And I remember when I went to see that first film, and people, like, I had a group of friends. And like we were split, like, let's go see Harry Potter. It's another fantasy movie. Come on, we like Lord of the Rings. And half my friends, like, we went to Manchester and we actually split. Half of them went to the mall, half of them went to the movie. And they're like, I don't want to see that. Shane, you're stupid. It's going to be dumb. And afterwards, all of us that went were like, yeah, it was stupid. It was dumb. We should have went to the mall or whatever. Because we were all Lord of the Rings fans. We were all big Lord of the Rings fans. And like, I kind of bought into it a little bit. Like, I made it think, when I saw the trailers, I kind of manipulated it in my head to make them seem different than they were. Yeah. It's just not for me. I'm not interested in that kind of thing. Yeah,
I think you should watch the other movies because they get, as the characters get older, the movies get more mature too. So, like especially the last two movies are probably my favorite movies. Because that's the book that was split in two because it's like over 1,000 pages. They need to split it in two. But I like all the movies, but none of them have like blown me away. I haven't read any of the books or anything, but I do have hope for this movie, and what I hope comes out of this movie is more fantasy movies, because that was what was supposed to happen with Lord of the Rings, and all the studios got really scared and was like they didn't want to copy Lord of the Rings.
They did Narnia, they did Harry Potter, but they were lighter hearted in tone. I didn't want that. I wanted darker.
Yeah, even
anything.
Even the Hobbit movies were lighthearted in tone.
Yeah, even the Hobbit movies are a whole tonal mess. Yeah, they're like Lord of the Rings sometimes and ridiculous other times. It didn't make any sense. But
yeah, so that's what I'm hoping comes out of this movie, and you know that they're going to try to make a new franchise out of this because that's what I want to do with all these movies, but. I just want to see more fantasy movies, and I just want to see more of that genre because there's not enough in Hollywood today.
Indeed. And speaking of the fantasy genre, here's one thing Lord of the Rings did do, and I think it ushered in one darker fantasy, and that was Game of Thrones. We just saw the trailer for the upcoming 6th season, the second one, and Game of Thrones is everything I ever wanted in a fantasy show. It's amazing. It's movie quality. Jacob, what did you think of the second trailer?
I didn't like it as much as the first trailer, but it still got me excited for this season. Got to see more dragons, which I liked. Got to see more White Walkers. Got to see just all the characters in general. We had to see Arya fighting a little bit, which is interesting because she's supposed to be blind now. So that's going to add more to her character, I think. We got to see. We didn't get to see any Jon Snow in this trailer though, because they put those little teases in the first one, and now they're gonna like shy away from it a little bit. But do you think by the first episode he's gonna be back to life?
I had an impression with the trailer. There's a scene where I forget the guy's name. He's the aide to the king, and he's at the at the camp. God, I can't think of the name of the camp where the
I don't know what it is.
you know, on the wall. He's at the wall.
Yeah.
He's at the wall, and he said, and there's in the first trailer, he goes, "I'm not much of a fighter," and he pulls out Jon Snow's sword. And in the second trailer, it's him and two other guys who looks like there's about to be someone breaking in to the area where Jon Snow's body is, like they're about to fight him off. I'm not sure, but let me move past that. I recently watched this trailer again, and I'm pretty sure I saw one scene where a big giant door got kicked in, and it was the giant.
Oh, yeah.
There's a scene, it's like 2 seconds, but it's this big, you know, it's clearly not a regular sized door. It's like a gate for like a, you know, a castle or something. And boom, I see a big leg. I'm like, that's the giant, isn't it? Is he breaking through like a castle? Is he like under siege and he's smashing through it?
I want to see more of the giant and more of the wildlings in general, because that whole battle in the last season,
Hardhome,
that was amazing. That was like the best television battle I've ever seen. Yeah, it was amazing.
And that episode was one of my favorite episodes of Game of Thrones. Maybe my favorite, actually. It was the battle was legitimately like AAA movie quality.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Even though the season as a whole, the 5th season as a whole, I thought was the weakest season, even it was still awesome, and it still had that amazing episode of Hardhome.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that they have an episode or two like that in this season. And I think that they're trying to definitely, you know, pack as much, like, they're only going after the things that they need to do in these seasons, because they recently just said that the final 2 or 3 seasons are going to be less episodes. That's
what they're aiming for, because and I think they're doing that also because so they can make those episodes. The budget's not going to change. The season budget's going to be the same.
Yeah.
But there'll be less episodes, so they can make more Hardhome.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem with these shows. I mean, HBO, you know, the quality is amazing, but you see even in Game of Thrones where a lot of the episodes people were complaining about were a little slow, not a lot of action. And I'm thinking, because they had those big episodes, they had Hardhome, and then they had the episode of the dragon where Khaleesi's under attack and the dragon comes. Yeah. Right. I'm like, those aren't cheap. Yeah. So they save some money, you know, the other episodes.
Even when they don't have the dragons even doing anything, that still costs a lot of money. Right. Because it looks so real.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love the dragons.
Yeah. So they have to have those episodes where like nothing really happening. But look, there's a dragon. So there's something. But I'm really excited for this season. Starts in April 24th, I think. We're gonna do an episode by episode recap.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's like 10 episodes a season, right?
Yeah, and this is one of my favorite shows of all time now. It's in my, I have a holy trinity of Star Trek Next Generation, Deadwood, and now Game of Thrones. I love Game of Thrones.
Yeah, this is definitely you know, like you said, AAA quality movie quality. So I'm definitely looking forward to the next season.
Excellent. Now let's talk about something I'm not so looking forward to, at least part of it. Item number 5. After it has been reported that Sony had claimed the domain name SpiderManHomecomingTheMovie.com, it's now been confirmed that the new Spider-Man movie is going to be called Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah. Yeah. So we talked about this last week, that this report had come out from BBC that Sony had claimed this domain name, and we were like, it's probably just going to be, you know, a cover-up, because a lot of studios, you know, they take really weird names.
They'll buy a bunch of domain names just so they have them in case and to fool people.
Yeah, and to fool people. But I was a little bit, you know, cautious about this, because this says Spider-Man in the title, and when you want to fool people, you don't even put the name, like, the character in the domain name. So it has come out now that this is the official title, and I don't really like it. Like, I get that, you know, Spider-Man's he's coming back home to Marvel, so that makes sense. But I can definitely tell that it was Sony that came up with this title and not Marvel. Marvel probably would have done what they should have done and taken one of the comic book names, like Spectacular Spider-Man.
That's the one I wanted.
Yeah, that's the one I want too. Like even something like Web of Spider-Man. Web of Spider-Man would have worked too. So
it'd been better than this.
It definitely would have. And they also released the logo, and I actually kind of like the way the logo looks. It reminds me of the old Spider-Man cartoon series. Even though I didn't really watch that as a kid, I still like the way it looks.
I didn't like those cartoons, so it reminded me of those cartoons, and I was like, well, I should say I didn't like the '90s one. There's a number of series. Yeah. There was like the early, maybe late '90s, right after the X-Men or around the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see how the movie turns out, but now that a bunch of people have seen Civil War, that they're saying that even though he's not in the movie a lot, when he is in the movie, he is his scenes are awesome. So and it, like, there's not enough of him to say like this is the best Spider-Man we've gotten, but they're saying that it is promising.
It's reassuring, right? That it also it makes it kind of forces Sony's hand a bit. It's like, this is Spider-Man. You can't just start messing around with him because that won't make any sense. Of course, Sony might do that, but you know, it reassures me. Yeah,
it makes them think that it makes me think that Sony's going to be like, look at what Marvel did with Spider-Man, and be like, oh, we have to continue this, like what they did in this movie with this character.
Please.
Yeah. So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing Tom Holland as the character in Civil War and then in this movie. And another thing that came out was that Michael Keaton might actually be in this movie as the Vulture, which is, you know, really is a bald guy that flies around and steals and robs banks. But they're if they do that character, they're definitely going to update it. Like I don't think that there's been like any bad performances in any of the Spider-Man movies. They've had bad iterations of villains, but they haven't had any really bad performances except for Paul Giamatti as the Rhino. That like he just hammed up that role so much. So they're definitely going to have some good talent in this movie. So I'm looking forward to that. But this title doesn't get me excited. But the title isn't going to be like like just because the title's bad doesn't mean the movie.
It's just a title. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. I'm not that concerned about the title. I'm still excited about it. I'm a little reticent because it's Sony, but whatever. Let's now move on to item number 6, where Sony does something else interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Sony has revealed the title for their upcoming Men in Black and 21 Jump Street crossover. Yes, those two franchises, Men in Black and 21 Jump Street, are literally crossing over. And the name of the film is MIB 23.
Yep. So I remember this came out when that whole Sony email hacks thing happened a couple years ago, and people were looking at this and were like, "That's not real.
It's a joke."
Yeah, it's real. Just like that Aunt May movie thing was actually being considered in that whole email chain. But in this is, even though this is pretty bad, it's better than Aunt May, so that's a plus. But I've always been kind of a big fan, like a medium fan of the Men in Black series. I remember watching the first 2 movies, liking them, and then I liked the third one, and then I watched it again, and I was like, wow, that was trash. Then the Jump Street movies, I've really liked. I really enjoyed 21, 22 Jump Street. They're some of my favorite comedies of the past like 5 to 10 years, actually. But the fact that they're crossing these 2 franchises over together just screams desperation, because Sony doesn't have a big franchise anymore, because they lost the Bond films now because their contract ran out. So that goes back to some other company, I don't know. But so all they have is Men in Black and Jump Street now, and Spider-Man, obviously, but they can't cross over him because they're already crossing over with the MCU. So
that'd be so horrible.
Yeah. Men in Black, Jump Street, and Spider-Man.
Oh, I'd be wretched.
So they took these 2 comedy franchises at least and combined them together. We know that Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith aren't coming back. I'm sure you're excited that Will Smith isn't going to be in this movie. So they're combining them together, and the only reason I'm excited for this is the fact that it's 21 Jump Street, and the way they left the last movie off kind of like says that they can do anything they want with this franchise, because it's a comedy and it's just crazy wild. They can do anything they want. So it's probably going to have Janko and Schmidt be the new Men in Black duo, and then by the end of the movie they're going to have a new team to kickstart the new Men in Black reboot, I guess.
You got anything else to say, Jacob?
Nope, I'm guessing you don't have anything?
Alrighty then.
Okay.
Now it's time for the part of the show we like to call Geek Talk. This is where we talk about anything from the Geekverse. Kyle, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about the Mad Max movies. Shane, you haven't seen the original 3.
No, we're talking about the Mad Max movies. I've only seen one of them.
Yeah. No, I remember
the good one.
Yeah, Fury Road came out, and before it came out, I wanted to watch the original 3 Mad Max movies. I already seen the first one a couple months earlier, but I wanted to watch the other 2 because I remember I liked the first one, but my problem with it was that he didn't. I guess we're gonna go into a little bit of spoiler territory. I guess he doesn't really become Mad Max until the end of the movie. so that was my problem. I wanted to see him be like, you know, kind of like the Punisher, because he has a very Punisher like origin in the first movie. And so the second movie came around, Road Warrior, and that's like everyone's favorite pretty much, besides Fury Road. Like before Fury Road came out, everyone like loved Road Warrior. I thought it was okay. I saw the third movie, thought it was okay, and also very weird, because they're all very weird. But the third movie, I was really strange. That's a Thunderdome. They have this weird dome where people are attached to like bungee cords, and there's like weapons on the wall, and they like jump around the bungee cords, grab weapons, and then attack each other.
I've seen clips of this.
Yeah, it's
what the hell's going on?
It was very, very strange. They had Whitney Houston, I think, or
Tina Turner.
Yeah, Tina Turner as the she was in the movie, and she also did the soundtrack for the movie. That movie was just so weird. I can't get over how weird that movie was. But they were all just okay to me. Like I didn't hate any of them, but I didn't love any of them either.
Medium.
Yeah, and then I went and saw Fury Road, and I loved it. It was awesome. That's what I wanted from all these other movies. And I think, you know, George Miller did such a good job of, you know, modernizing it, but also keeping that same feel that the original three movies had, because it was still pretty weird. If you can watch the movie, there's that weird, there's all the weird like style choice of the movie.
Yeah, like Immortan Joe, I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
That guy's so bizarre.
Yeah, he's really bizarre. And there's that one scene where his mask changes, like he's sad, and it shows like the mouth like open. I didn't notice that. And there's no explanation for why that is, because it's like a solid thing. Like it doesn't move. So it was really weird seeing that. But I like Fury Road so much because it has all these, you know, messages in it that aren't like in your face, but they're still there to, you know, like tell you, like bring to light these things about the movie. Like it has really interesting messages about, you know, feminism, like toxic masculinity, you know, just all these really important things. Like they have the whole thing about, you know, how like we're not your property. Like the wives running away from Immortan Joe.
The milk farming, where the women are all attached up to their breasts to get their breast milk. Like, what is going on here?
Yeah,
this guy's some crazy dictator. He thinks he's a god.
Yeah, and there's a part in the movie where he goes in, he finds out that his wives are missing, and there's that old lady there with a shotgun, like they aren't your property, and like so I really love this movie, but it had a lot of, you know, had the same style choices as the original movies, had the same, it had a lot of like Easter eggs from the original movies, but what I really like about the franchise as a whole is that it like you don't have to worry about continuity, because all these movies are supposed to be told from someone else's perspective, and that a lot of people's criticisms about this movie were that it wasn't really a Mad Max movie.
Oh, you mean Mad Max Furiosa? I mean Mad Max Fury Road?
Yeah. People were saying that it was a Furiosa movie, and it pretty much was.
It was.
But that's the whole thing about Mad Max, is that, except for the first movie, none of them are really about him. They're about him helping other people. So he was the vehicle for Furiosa.
Right.
And
he's the connecting link that's between all the movies.
Yeah. The only thing concerning the character of Max I didn't like was that his car got immediately destroyed, came back at the end, and then got destroyed again. Because I just wanted him to have his car back, man. But so, you know, I really liked all the performances in the movie too. You know, Tom Hardy did a great job. Charlize Theron did a fantastic job.
She did a fantastic job. I wasn't that impressed with Tom Hardy.
Yeah, he didn't really have that much to do.
He's kind of he didn't have much to do. He was just kind of flat, and he didn't really show much emotion throughout the film. Yeah. He was just kind of even.
But if you watch the other movies, like that's what Mad Max is. Like he's just the guy that, you know, like that's the way Mel Gibson portrayed the character too.
Right. So it could have been a homage, or maybe this is a director. That's the choice you made.
Yeah.
It just wasn't interesting to me.
Yeah. I'm hoping that the next movie will actually focus more on him, but you know that they're going to follow the same, you know, path and have him be there to tell other people's stories, I guess. Okay.
I don't know anything about the old Mad Maxes. I've seen clips, and I maybe even seen some when I was a kid on TV. Never really interested in them. But Mad Max, Fury Fury Road was fantastic. I thought it was great. It was an action movie that put you on the edge of your seat the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, the close calls, like little things like, he's about to kill you, and he just misses. Yeah. He's about to, so many just misses and just this.
Yeah.
And, I loved it.
Yeah, and the way they shot it, like, it just made you, like, on your seat the whole time.
You felt like you were there, like there were a couple of scenes where I did this kind of thing. Like I almost moved like slightly because I'm like, whoa, what's happening?
Yeah, the way they shot this movie was fantastic, and it was all practical too, because there was that. There's a whole thing where the people are like hanging off the top of the cars, and that was real.
On the poles.
Yeah, and I watched this thing with George Miller, the director, where he was talking about like, oh, we're gonna have to do that CGI, and then like this person he was actually like working with, he did like a test where it was real, and he was like, we're really gonna do it. Someone's probably gonna die, but we're gonna do it.
Wow.
He didn't want to do it originally with real people because he was like, this is really dangerous. Like if the car like flips over, they're all dead. So, but they decided to do it real, and surprisingly nobody died. So it's just crazy that and I remember there was a lot of like people were really worried about this movie because it took forever to come out because it took so long to shoot.
But that's the reason, like, you keep making the joke about people dying, and yeah, it was dangerous, but the reason it took so long is because of all the safety precautions, and there's all these wires you can't see that are edited out.
And they have to fly all the way out to the desert, probably multiple times, like going back and forth. But, that's why I'm surprised that Charlize Theron is actually for another Mad Max movie or a Furiosa movie, because she had her and Tom Hardy has some, like, conflicts on set because, they're out there like in the like 100-degree weather like for hours on end. So people are gonna get on your nerves. So
yeah.
So but I love Fury Road. I like the other movies. But what I like about them so much is that they kind of like paved the way for Fury Road to come about, because George Miller, like he took like 30 years in between these movies, made Babe and then the Happy Feet movies, and then came back to Mad Max. Like, you know what? It's time for another Mad Max movie. I respect that. I want to see more out of him. He's like over 90 years old now, but
no, he's not.
He's like 90. I'm pretty sure. He's
not that old.
He's in his 80s at least. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll check on that, and then we won't get back to you because we'll forget about this.
But if you haven't seen the Mad Max movies, go watch them. If you have seen them, tell us in the comments what your favorite one is.
At least watch Mad Max Furiosa. Fury Road. Anyways, Jacob, welcome back. It's time for another Geeks review. What are we reviewing today? We're reviewing The Jungle Book. Now, be warned, this is a spoiler review. We're going to talk all about the recent release of the live-action Jungle Book. We're going to get into all the details and the spoilers, though a lot of them you probably already know if you know anything about the story. Regardless, let's get right to this. This is about the story of a young boy named Mowgli. He's separated from his father when he's younger, and he's raised by wolves. And there's a whole bunch of great animal characters. Eventually, as he starts to get older, Shere Khan, is that how you say the name? Yeah. A tiger doesn't want Mowgli alive. We eventually learn that it's because Mowgli's father burnt Shere Khan with fire, the red flower they call it in the movie, and we go on this adventure of just following Mowgli's journey through the jungle, who's trying to reach the man village, but eventually changes his mind, and there's a confrontation with Shere Khan, obviously. Yeah. Jacob, what did you think of this film?
I really enjoyed this movie. It was what I expected it to be, which was just this going on this journey with this young boy and him encountering all these different animals. I loved Bill Murray as Blue the bear. He did a great job.
Bare necessities.
Yes, he did a great job with that character. I loved hearing him sing that song too. And all the casting choices for the movie were really good, I thought, because you had Scarlett Johansson as Kaa the snake. You had Shere Khan was Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, you had Ben Kingsley in there. You got who played as the king?
Christopher Walken as King Louis.
I loved Christopher Walken as King Louis. He was probably my favorite character in the movie. He was great in that role. So this movie it had a lot of like wonderful, like fantastic
depictions of the jungle.
Yes, and what really surprised me about this movie was how real it looked, and none of it was actually real. It was all CGI and all motion capture. The only thing that was real about this movie was Mowgli.
Yes.
And that's what I really liked about this movie, and because you're watching it, you just forget. You just forget that none of this is real. It's all just like green screen motion capture, and I thought that it looked fantastic.
The animals. There's a scene where Shia Khan's talking to the wolf pack leader.
Yeah.
And this like a regular tiger or cat. If you own a cat, like Puzzle's the cat, our mascot in Geeks in the movies. He lays down kind of casually. Yeah. His ears flicking. Yeah. His tail's moving. Yeah. I'm like, this is blowing my mind. Yeah. How they get the little details. Even background characters. There's a scene early in the movie where there's a water piece called or water truce because there's a drought. So there's one place where they can all drink and they aren't even fighting each other. They're just casually panning through the rhinos and armadillos and whatever. I'm like, look at the tail moving, the itching, the twitch. Yeah. It's astonishing. Yeah. They did such an amazing job. Now, you said you got kind of what you expected.
Yeah.
I got what I expected. So I was really mostly just interested in this movie because of the animals. I really didn't care about the kid. I did see the original Jungle Book, but I'm always kind of generically interested in movies that have a lot of animals in them. My favorite movie from a kid from like Disney movie is The Lion King, and I like The Lion King because I had no people in it. Rocko's Modern Life, one of my favorite cartoons as a kid, no people in it. I just like the animals, and they delivered on the animals. And I loved Shia Khan as the tiger, Ka as the snake, and King Louie. Those three, all the villains, I thought, this is amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, I loved when we got to King Louie's palace and just all the monkeys everywhere. And everything.
There's so many.
Yes, and I loved when he actually finally comes out of the shadows and you see how big he is.
He's huge.
Yes. And I loved Christopher Walken in that role. He did such a good job. You know, he has such a distinct voice to him. Like it's like, all right, that's obviously Christopher Walken, but it fits his character so well.
He's doing the mob boss thing.
Yes.
But it works perfectly for the character. And I wasn't sure what I was going to think about this, was the music performances.
Yes.
Like they did a couple songs. I'm like, is this going to be kind of dumb and take me out of the movie? Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, I thought that too because, you know, there's only 2 songs and it's not a musical movie.
It's not a musical number like the Disney movies.
Yeah, but when they come in, it feels natural.
Yeah, exactly. It feels organic to the movie. I'm like, yeah, this works. I like it.
Yeah, I loved hearing Christopher Walken sing. I want to be just like you. That was such a good performance, I thought. And but the movie as a whole, I thought was really well done. Some things I didn't like about it was I thought that at times the story felt a little bit disjointed, but it wasn't really that big of a deal. Like it didn't take me out of the movie or anything. The ending I thought was really well done. The action scene that they had where all the animals were attacking Shere Khan. He's just like smacked them out of the way.
Yeah. When they had Blue the Bear and Shia Khan going at it, I'm like, this was amazing. It's like a real grizzly bear fighting a tiger. I was like, yes, let's do it. It was like a YouTube video. Yeah. Tiger versus bear. I'm like, yeah, let's do this.
I don't think in real life you'll ever see a bear fighting a tiger. So
Actually, in India, it's been known that tigers have been known to kill bears. Brown bears, big bears. And brown bears have been known to kill tigers.
I want to go to India now and see that.
Well, they're all endangered, so.
Never mind. But I want to see Idris Elba fighting Bill Murray.
Oh man, Bill Murray's that's going down real quick. Idris Elba's a big dude.
Yeah. But I really liked all those scenes with the animals fighting, and you say that like, oh, it's supposed to be a kids movie, so like it shouldn't be like this violent, but it wasn't really violent at all. Like
they were very slick with the editing, I noticed.
Yeah.
Like because Shia Khan's brutal in this movie. He kills the wolf pack leader.
Yeah.
But even like when he kills or does something really violent, it's always the editing cuts. Yeah. So you can't really see quite what's happening. But it is intense. It's still intense. If you have young kids, they could be scared.
Yeah, but what they do is that they keep the lighthearted tone throughout the entire movie, but they have times where like it can get kind of scary, like especially the snake scene where the part where the snake like opens his mouth really wide. I was like a little freaked out. I was like, oh damn.
Wow, yeah. that it's just a short scene with Scarlett Johansson, but it was so well done.
Yeah.
Right. They're like one-off scenes. Like King Louie was only in for a small part of the movie.
Yeah.
The snake was only in. Like these weren't recurring characters. Like Shia Khan's in throughout the movie. It wasn't like that. It was great.
Yeah. And something they might want to note down is that they're actually planning on making a Jungle Book 2 already, because this movie smashed at the box office. It made like $103 million opening weekend, which is amazing. I think it's the second biggest April opening weekend so far now.
I think it's rated PG. You don't usually see that for, PG-13 is usually that sweet spot to get audiences.
Yeah, so a lot of families went out to see this movie, and I'm sure that they all enjoyed it.
When we went, it was there's tons of kids in the theater we went.
Yeah, but it still had a lot of adults that weren't with kids at the same time. So I really enjoyed this movie. It had had a little bit of a conflict with the tone a little bit at times, and with the story at times, I thought. But overall, I really enjoyed it. And the actor that played as the kid,
Mowgli, Neil something, I can't remember his last name.
Yeah, but he did a really good job, especially considering this was his first movie and he wasn't actually acting with anybody. He was just acting at things,
So I want to comment on him because he was my least favorite part of the movie, but I don't blame him.
Yeah.
He did a good job. I thought he did. Matter of fact, most of them I thought he did a great job.
Yeah.
There's a few scenes where it was obvious. I felt like he doesn't really know where to look. Like, what am I talking to? But me, I wasn't going to see him.
Yeah.
I was the movie. I wanted to see the animals. That's all I cared about. I didn't really care about him. So I got the movie I expected. Like, based on the visuals, I'm like, okay, based on these actors and these visuals, I like animals. I like seeing the jungle and that kind of deal. I'm gonna like it. And I knew ahead of time, like, brace yourself, Shane. There's probably gonna be some scenes with the kid where you're gonna be like, it's kind of boring. So there's a few times where I felt a little bored. I think some other adults that kind of have my taste, they might be slightly bored by some of the kid scenes. Again, he does a good job.
Yeah.
In a very difficult role. It's just I wanted to see all the cool animals. People are really talking about the animals, and this is taking a new level in visual design, and computer graphics is great.
Yeah, and the director of this movie, I can't remember his name, but he directed the Iron Man movies, but he wants to make a Magic Kingdom movie, and he's been talking at that for a long time, and he used the technology in this movie kind of as like a testing ground for what we're gonna see in that movie. So I'm really excited he has a really big contract with Disney, I guess, because he made some Marvel movies. He's made some of these movies. Maybe he'll make a Star Wars movie in the future. But he knows how to direct visually, I think, and he proved that in this movie. And he knows how to bring certain aspects out of the actors as well. Because I thought that, this movie had a great cast to it. They all did an amazing job, I thought. But what are you going to give it as a score? My score for this movie is 4 out of 5 stars. It is an excellent film. I think there might be some adults like me that might not be quite as interested in some of the story regarding the kid, but that's a personal taste choice. But overall, it's an excellent movie. I'd recommend it. Yeah, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I thought that one thing that I thought was that's equivalent, by the way. Yes, it's equivalent. I thought that it could have had a little bit more humor to it, but what made up for that was the fact that it was such a charming movie. That's true too. Like there were some jokes there that weren't really working for me. Yeah. There were some jokes that were funny, but a couple times involving the kid that didn't. But that's fine. It's not a big deal. But like I said, it had a lot of charming characters to it, and that added to the lighthearted tone. And even though it wasn't funny, I was smiling through a lot. Yeah, a lot of times I was smiling just because I thought the characters were amusing looking or cute or whatever. Yeah. Anyways, though, so Jacob, you give it an 8 out of 10. I give it 4 out of 5 stars. Go see this movie. If you saw the trailers and you think, oh, that's kind of interesting, then you want to see this movie. Yes. It's excellent. It's doing great at the box offices. Anyways, my name is Shane Jacob. Sadly, we've reached that time of the show where I have to hold back the tears. We've reached the end of Geeks at the Movies today. Where can they get more great geek content? You can find us on our YouTube channel at Geeks at the Movies, where we have tons of original content, a bunch of stuff that is exclusive to YouTube. And then you can also find us on our Facebook page and on our Twitter page at Geeks at the Movie. Drop the S. And you can also see us 4:30 every Friday, Charter 192. Also catch us on CBC5. Those are both local public access channels in the Eastern Connecticut area. Otherwise, just go to YouTube. Email us at geeksthemovies.ct@gmail.com. Tell us your thoughts. Always comment below in the feedback. Give us a like if you enjoy this. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Anyways, my name has been Shane Goodrich. This is Jacob Does the Tales. And we've been Geeks the Movies. Boom!